Coming up on SUTV News, we'll talk about the holiday sale at the bookstore.
And later, a closer look at the Light the World event. Stay tuned. Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Ryan Sunderman.
And I'm Cairo Cook. With the holiday season in full swing this year, many local businesses are celebrating with seasonal sales, including our own bookstore. Our reporter, Alex Schillings, has the story.
As we begin to dive right into the holidays this year, what better way to celebrate than with some annual Christmas sales? As sales begin across the city, there's no better convenient place for SUU students to check out than our own SUU bookstore. This week marks the annual Christmas sale just in time for some last-minute shopping before students head home for the holidays, and the sales provided to both faculty and students are even more enticing than before.
We are usually dead in between, during the days when kids are in class, but we've had a lot of people come and a lot of Cedar City members of the community come and shop with us, and it's been awesome because we have so many things we want to get out to the people and have them wear to games and events, and it's been awesome having them come and shop with us.
With an 8% discount on electronics and a 35% discount on clothing, there's no wonder why this is such a highly publicized event around campus. Plus, it's the perfect time to pick up the shirt for mom and dad that celebrates their child being an SUU Thunderbird. Thanks to the extended hours, the bookstore becomes busier than ever for the community to stop by. Students who are ahead of the curve are also taking the opportunity to grab the textbooks needed for next semester.
Yeah, normally it's just quiet. We have a lot of kids get Scantrons or little school supplies, but the clothes we just kind of get new arrivals, and we love for people to come see them, and so it's awesome that they can come and shop and get this cool discount as we can restock as much as we can.
So be sure to embrace the Christmas spirit here at SUU before finals week is upon us. For SUTV News, I'm Alex Schilling.
The Latter-day Saint Student Association is starting off this Christmas season with acts of service by participating in the Light the World campaign. The initiative encourages those who participate to do random acts of kindness during every day of the month of December. Each day focuses on a different aspect of service. Those who take part in the campaign participate in a wide variety of activities, including donating blood, writing thank you letters, and supporting those in need. The program is in its 4th year of running, and those closest to the program guarantee that taking part in the initiative will help people feel happier during the Christmas season.
When people participate in Light the World, they'll experience, honestly, what most people would say, like the true feeling of Christmas, or whatever, the Christmas spirit. They're going to feel a lot more love for other people. They'll feel a lot more patient. And I feel like as they participate in Light the World, they'll be able to, get through whatever they're going through. If it's finals, right? Finals week is coming up. If people are serving and helping to light the world, then they're going to be blessed with that.
Our reporter Nathan Wiggins has been preparing for finals and decided to take a look at how other students study for their finals.
Finals week is just around the corner. I'm here on SUU campus where students are preparing furiously to take their final exams and get their final projects done. Because of all the stress that goes into that, I decided to follow one student around to see how he prepares for finals. Seth Palmer is one of the most successful computer science students here at SUU. In fact, his skills as a programmer and computer expert are so good that the SUU IT department has put him to work programming several sections of the MySUU portal. But, just like every other student here at SUU, Seth also has to prepare for finals.
I'm pretty stressed out about a couple of them. It doesn't help that one or two of my professors, or rather the same professor, but for 2 different classes, decided to put a test, this week, the last week of classes, as well as a test for finals week.
For Seth, it's the mindset going into the final that is the most important part.
I've learned this material, I took the class, and so the information's there, it's somewhere, and so if I just focus on the questions and just kind of I try to keep my mind clear and just don't think about anything else, because if I start worrying about, I don't know, how am I going to do on this test? Oh, it's not going to turn out well. Like it can be like a self-fulfilling prophecy and make me do worse.
Seth is also a huge believer in not taking things too seriously. So much so, in fact, that it was sometimes hard to get him to be serious as I was interviewing him. And how do you study for finals?
I don't.
But when it comes down to it, Seth really believes that confidence is key. So to sum it all up, everything will all go just fine on our finals if we follow Seth's advice of remembering to be confident and not to take things too seriously. So with finals week fast approaching, there's all sorts of different methods that you can use to study for your exams. But one thing's for sure, if you don't start studying now, you could be in a lot of trouble when finals roll around. For SUTV News, I'm Nathan Wiggins.
Up next, we'll talk about SUU's new academic partnership.
And a closer look at the University Journal. Don't go anywhere.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
SU's theater classes work on perfecting their makeup looks. Our reporter Keenan Coles was able to go behind the scenes to see the process up close and personal.
As a theater student at SU, students prepare and expand a needed skill set on and off the stage for a production. In Makeup for the Actor, a class taught to provide students with techniques on makeup and to look professional with any role, the class does just that.
As an actor, you are often required to do your own makeup, and very rarely, even in professional theaters, are you given a makeup design.
Students equip themselves with all the tools they need to succeed in the class, from brushes to brand name makeup kits, to bring their character of the day to life. With every character, there's an actor willing to give everything they have into making their role believable and theirs, all to give to the audience on performance day.
For me, one of the things that helps the most to getting in character is my costume and makeup. So I think that getting a good makeup design and really applying that to your face and making yourself look like the character you envision is really helpful in creating an authentic experience.
Makeup for the Actor provides an experience for the actors to become and feel more professional for when they graduate, giving them a foundation to build a character within themselves. Some of the students also taking the course say they can grasp a lot more to method acting, with their brushes having knowledge on makeup and how to apply it themselves.
I feel like I can do more artistic things with my makeup than I could before, so that's cool.
I'm Keenan Coles with SUTV News.
This summer, SU signed a contract with an organization named Academic Partnerships to boost enrollment in online programs. Our reporter Nathan Wiggins took a look at what growth has occurred after one semester of the contract.
A new era of outreach is beginning for Southern Utah University that is expected to expand its campus across the nation. Earlier this year, SUU signed a contract with a college marketing organization known as Academic Partnerships. Known by its initials AP, Academic Partnerships advertises to students all over the country and enlists them into SUU's online programs. And the program directors here at SUU say that working with AP has been a good experience overall.
They want to help us find solutions and streamline the processes as much as they can.
The contract was signed in hopes that it would help SUU grow and expand at an accelerated pace, and AP has promised some big results.
Each year we could have 100, 200 students from both sides of the marketing, so it could really become ginormous.
But working with AP hasn't been trouble-free, and those involved agree that although the agreement has been a positive experience, there have been some struggles.
You know, I think with any new initiative, any new endeavor, there's going to be things that, snafus, I'll say. And so we've had a few of those, but the nice thing about AP is they're like, okay, let's get together.
If AP does deliver on the promises it has made, SUU's online campus will see huge growth during the next 10 years. Those most closely involved here at SUU are cautiously optimistic.
They are projecting that we will more than hit and possibly exceed our goals of having 15,000 students at SUU. So we'll see.
And it's that waiting that can sometimes be the hardest part. For SUTV News, also waiting to see, I'm Nathan Wiggins.
This month's issue of the University Journal decided to tackle topics that are sensitive to many people on campus. Our reporter Connor Aist visited the journal staff to find the inspiration behind this month's magazine.
December's issue of the University Journal aimed to inform its readers about the realities of sexual assault, suicide, homophobia, and mental health disorders that are prevalent among SUU students.
There's been a lot of issues on this campus with mental health, sexual assaults, things of that nature, and our college does great things. They do really good at reaching out to the students and trying to find ways to make them comfortable, make them open up, and provide the proper venues for them to receive the counseling and the help they need.
The magazine features articles that help you to recognize signs of depression, stories of fellow students who have learned to cope with their struggling mental health, and how they've overcome trauma resulting from sexual assault. This month's journal also tells students where they can turn for help.
The university has provided students with a ton of resources that a lot of them just either don't know about or they're not sure how to get in contact with them. First and foremost, those CAPS, which stands for Counseling and Psychological Services for all of our SUU students. They're located right around the corner from campus, and anyone can go in there and get the help that they may need. Other things they can do to find support is go to the Nest or the CDI and find some friends, some other students who have been in similar situations that they have. The whole purpose of this magazine was just to be one more avenue for students to be able to find those people that can give them the support they need in their most desperate times.
The Counseling and Psychological Services offers confidential and free counseling to all SUU students.
Honestly, when you look at it, most of the people around you have probably reached for those resources before. You know, I've had experiences where, you know, people don't really want to talk about, oh, I went to CAPS because it was a rough semester, but when you talk about it, you know, people around you suddenly are saying, oh, I've also gone to CAPS. How did your experience go? And we start talking about it like that. I think that it's a lot more common than everyone gives it credit for, and that everyone should take advantage of it while it's available.
For SUTV News, I'm Connor Aist.
With this year making the 150th anniversary of the Transcontinental Railroad, the Southern Utah Museum of Art is exhibiting a feature on the railroad and Utah's involvement. My co-anchor Ryan was able to take a closer look at it earlier today.
Thanks, guys. So, Tanner, what exactly is your position within SUMA?
So I'm the tour and volunteer coordinator here. I train our volunteers, coordinate them, as well as set up tours and give tours of the museum.
Very cool, thank you. So, A World Transformed, that is about Utah's involvement in the Transcontinental Railroad?
Yeah, that's correct. This is the 150th anniversary of the Transcontinental Railroad, so we have an exhibit on it currently here at SUMA.
So it's such a big anniversary. How do you feel about SUMA being a place that this exhibition is being presented?
It's definitely a change of pace from what we normally have, more historical side of it, but I think it's been really good, especially with our K through 12 tours. 4th grade and 7th grade focus on Utah history, so it's been really interesting for them to have an application for that.
Thank you so much. So if you want to learn more about the Transcontinental Railroad exhibit, you can come here to SUMA. It will be here through December 28th, and that's about all I have for you. Back to you guys at the desk. How's the weather looking today, Connor?
We've got a warm front on the horizon. We'll be right back.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Welcome back to SUTV. I'm Connor Sanders on what is a very cozy day here in Cedar City, 44 degrees. Our current temperature right now, really experiencing some warmer temperatures than what we were expecting earlier in the week. We're looking at highs about 41 throughout the rest of the weekend, but as you can tell today, we've already hit 44. Tomorrow looking like the high of 43, and Saturday all the way up near 46. That's looking like much more comfortable temperature than what we've been experiencing the last few weeks, especially with the snow that we saw over Thanksgiving break. Slight chance of seeing some rain tonight, 10% chance in the evening, and just a little bit of wind at 4 miles an hour. We'll go ahead and look at our 7-day forecast here. We can see here we are today with this little warm front coming in, bumping up those temperatures for the weekend, and that's actually huge because on Sunday we're going to see a pretty high chance of rain, around 70%. Temperatures any colder, we'd probably be seeing snow, but we lucked out. We're going to get just a little bit of rain instead, so not any need to worry about traveling or things like that, but still be careful, especially with the rain. As we can see, highs of 38 looking into early next week, hitting back up in the 40s as soon as the middle part of next week. Lows reaching into the teens, feeling cold, but feeling pretty manageable, especially for this time of year. Mid-December, really the coldest part of the year, especially with finals and things going on, that cold really feels a little more poignant than usual. But we're actually at a pretty decent temperature, pretty comfortable time of year here in Cedar City. And that's all I've got for you. We'll throw it back to the desk.
Thanks for the weather update, Connor.
Here's a quick look at what's coming up next in sports.
Coming up on SUTV Sports, we've got a recap of the women's basketball game from Tuesday. Don't go anywhere.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome to SUTV Sports. I'm Connor Aist. Southern Utah women's basketball remains undefeated at home after trouncing Oral Roberts University 72-58 on Tuesday afternoon. It was the annual kids game at American First Event Center as elementary school students from around Cedar City were bussed in to watch the Thunderbirds. The teams went punch for punch in the first quarter and went into the second tied 16-16. The T-Birds then exploded into a 22-8 run in the second quarter and put the game out of reach before halftime with a buzzer-beating three-pointer by Harley Hansen. SU maintained their 14-point halftime lead throughout the second half and secured their fourth win of the season. The Thunderbirds shot 60% from the field and held Oral Roberts to 38.6% shooting. Oral Roberts could not keep control of the ball, and the T-Birds scored 30 points off of the Eagles' 22 turnovers. Rebecca Cardenas led the way for the T-Birds with 17 points and 8 assists. Harley Hansen added 14 points alongside Claudia Armato, who pitched in 11. Head coach Tracy Saunders was happy with the team's performance and credited the elementary schoolers in attendance for helping the team to victory.
It's awesome to have a crowd. You know, I thought the kids that were all there did a great job of getting us going, and that was fun. But I do think that's something we talked about is, you know, starting the second half 0-0 and really making them push again.
The T-Birds will look to continue their home winning streak tomorrow at 6:30 against UC Irvine. SU's football season has come to a close, but the best part of the year has just started for most college football fans across the nation. This weekend will feature championship games between the best two teams in each conference, with some teams' college football playoff hopes riding on a win. One of those teams is the Utah Utes. They will play the University of Oregon tomorrow night in the Pac-12 championship game at 6 p.m. The number 6 nationally ranked Utes will need to win the Ducks in convincing fashion if they want to join favorites LSU, Ohio State, and Clemson in the college football playoff conversation. The final rankings will be released on Sunday, and Utah will find out if they will be given the opportunity to enter the playoff for a chance to win the College Football National Championship held on January 13th. For SUTV Sports, I'm Connor Ace.
Thanks for the update, Connor. Up next, we'll talk about safety in dating apps.
And look at Baby Yoda phenomenon. Don't go anywhere.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
One of the most popular ways to meet people nowadays is through dating apps, but it could be much more of a risk than one might think. In a recent investigation done by Columbia Journalism, it was found that some of the most popular sites used for dating do not do background checks on their users, leaving users vulnerable to sex offenders. Match, a dating website, started screening users using their site in 2011 after a lawsuit from a woman who had been raped from a 6-time convicted rapist. Other websites, including Match Group, the owners of many dating sites, have not taken these precautions yet, stating that it is up to the users to be honest with their profile. Match Group's spokesperson stated, quote, "There are definitely registered sex offenders on our free products," end quote. Over 150 of reported sexual assault cases have been reported from using a dating app in the last decade.
Most of the time, I'm like, okay, but like you never really know who's gonna be on there.
Fortunately, my gender, it's not really affected that much by sexual offenders, but it does make me wary about those female friends that I do have that do use the dating apps.
Some of the senior illustration majors are making a board game, and our reporter Alex Schilling had the chance to sit down with them and learn more about it.
SEU provides a lot of options for its students to further their education and get practical experience. For one group of art students, this has meant months dedicated to creating their very own board game. The visual development studio headed by Professor Ben Sowards has spent the entire semester creating a board game inspired by Celtic and Maori themes. The premise of the game is that a group of 6 villagers wind up on a mysterious island where they must work together or fight over the various resources on the island as they try to not only save their fellow villagers, but also combat one of the 3 evil witches.
The more villagers you free, the odds are the ending won't be as difficult.
It is a mix of cooperation and competition.
You kind of play with other people, but also against other people.
Each villager has a unique visual style that clearly demonstrates what they are all about. For example, the female warrior is strong and stoic. She wields a mighty axe and can turn into a deadly panther. The entire visual style is a collaboration between the 7 students, headed by Francesca Gatti Western. She is the art director and oversaw developing the style that the other students would adhere to for the project. Along with this, Western also would act as mediator when issues came up.
You know, some people might not be okay with what you do, or might not be okay with what you draw or how you do things, but in the end you have to come to understanding of everybody.
Each student had their own individual role within the project and had to collaborate together while also focusing on whatever they had been assigned. For example, Israel Contreras, the graphics design lead, initially focused on emblems used in the game.
I'd say I'd put in at least over 100 hours working on this, doing redesigns of these emblems, borders.
But also expanded to helping throughout. While the board game has been made as part of a class, Professor Sowards has preferred to watch over the students' progress as opposed to actively participating in its development. Though that's not to say Sowards hasn't been helping with the end product. The entire point of the project is to have a final product that can be shown to future employers.
Studios and publishers want to see that students have experience and have brought an idea from nothing to a physical product.
And to go along with that, he and the class are considering pursuing some kind of crowdfunding along with the university to turn it into a real game to be sold, maybe even making expansions. There is hope with the project because
students and community members play the game and they've enjoyed it. I think it's a fun game.
Along with overall being a promising design. While it remains to be seen if the game will ever be commercially available, everything has been finalized and sent off to the printers so that the students can be graded on a fully playable copy of their game. This is Alex Schilling reporting for SUTV News. Back to the desk.
One of the top trending topics the last 2 weeks has been Baby Yoda. Introduced in the new Star Wars TV series on Disney+, Baby Yoda is quick to take the spotlight. But what is all the hype about? There's actually a scientific reason why we're all obsessed with Baby Yoda. Catherine Stavropoulos, a professor at the University of California, solved the mystery. It turns out that every feature that is prototypically considered cute is found on him. Big eyes, a small nose, and chubby cheeks. The features are not just to look at, but to pull at the adaptive traits of adults. And the brains want to nurture and to care for something that seems helpless. Being in the presence of something cute lights up our brain's reward system, which in turn makes us feel accomplished.
He's adorable. I really hope that they give him an actual name or species name because I just want to keep seeing more of them just everywhere in the series.
Baby Yoda is a cultural icon now.
He's so cute. I love him. I every time I see him, I just want to squish his face.
The yearly Education Week put on by the International Student Ambassador's Office is a standard American carnival complete with all the amenities. My co-anchor Ryan Sunderman had the chance to go and see what it's all about.
Education Week is a yearly week-long event put on by the International Student Ambassadors here at SUU. Varying events have included showcases, a food fair, a week-long scavenger hunt, student center mini-golf, and a trivia competition. The carnival this year is its newest edition.
This is the first year we've done this event. International Education Week, which is kind of the bigger encompassing week, like that this is all part of, we do every year. But this specific event, no, this is the first year we're hosting a carnival.
The International Office has different events for each Education Week, and a lot of planning and consideration goes into which events to bring back from past years, continue from the previous year, discontinue entirely, or which events to invent for a new twist. With more international students than ever here at SUU, new events are needed to connect foreign and domestic students and lifestyles.
We were just looking for something that was fun, that was a little more American, that we could kind of bring in and introduce the international students to. And I mean, everybody loves a good carnival. They like, the games and the things that come along with it. So we were really just hoping that it would be a good mix to kind of top off the International Education Week.
As a standard carnival, there were games to play, prizes to win, and fair-style food available to try from both American culture and other international cuisines. Along with all the games, attendees could interact with international students and advisors to learn more about different study abroad programs offered by SUU.
It pretty much is a fun way to relax and be able to, how shall I put it, like see and get to experience some of the things from other cultures.
International Education Week is a yearly event occurring in November every year. If you'd like more information on the International Affairs Office and the Student Ambassadors, you can visit suu.edu/international affairs. For SUTV News, I'm Ryan Sunderman.
Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Carol Cook.
I'm Connor Sanders.
I'm Ryan Sunderman.
And I'm Connor Ace. We leave you tonight with this semester's blooper reel.
Hi, Mom.
Coming up on SUU TV News, we'll talk about the on-campus...
Nothing.
Are they just going to start without me?
Family.
Coming up, welcome to SUTV News. I'm
My co-anchor, Grace Conley.
About that package you did on
To be clear, you told us not to change our clothes for the next week.
That's what I heard.
Thanks for the update, Connor. It was really nice of him for the donations.
Go.
Oh, are we? Oh,
Yeah,
is it? Okay. So, back to the desk.
You're at top, yeah.
Oh.
Great.
It's stuck. I can't move.
Oh.
Well, guess we're not talking about sports.
And don't go anywhere. We'll have the weather. We'll have the sports coming right.
sports is like.
And I guess I'm still going because, yeah, so SU had
We'll go ahead and look at our 10-day forecast here. You can see.
I guess not. Hello.
Thanks for the weather update, Connor.
That'd be real fun.
Yeah, that
But-
sounds fun.
Yeah,
What's up, folks?
What's up?
So have you ever thought about rushing?
Overall, not really. No, it's not.
Oh. We were legit told not to ad-lib.
I guess we're ad-libbing. Everybody in.
Mom, if you're out there, please come back.
There we go. What is going on?
Yeah, I need It kind of looks like Connor, but
It's because it is me. It's widely recognized that the team. Okay, screw this.
Just about.